Now, in this video, we are going to update the details model. We are going just to enable the mass assignment. Then we are going to update the controller methods. And then we are going to configure the API routes. So without wasting time, we are going inside the detail.php, that's the model, where we're going to allow mass assignment of user information. So we are going to write this inside the class. So protected fillable, and we're going to give an array of what we're going to assign. So the name, and then the email, then the address, okay, then the phone, all right, that's it. So by writing just that code, we have enabled the mass assignment of this user information. So we can go straight to the details, to the detail controller, and the methods that we need inside the detail controller is of course the index. We need the index method, this one, for displaying everything from the database. We do not need the create method for this project, so we're going to clear that. And then we need store to save the details that have been created by the user. Then we need the show method. Whenever user navigates to the update page, he or she should find the information already fetched and displayed on the input field. Then we do not need this edit function, so we need the update. And finally, we need the destroy for clearing the data. Now, so in this video, we are going to start by configuring them or updating these methods. Okay, so for the index, it is just simple. We are going to return everything. We're going to return everything in JSON format from the detail method. Okay, so we are going to return response. Response in JSON format. Okay, and what we're going to return from is from the detail model that communicates with the database, and then everything from the database. That's it. Okay, now the next method that we need to define is going to be the store method. Inside the store method, we are going to first validate the inputs. So we're going to create a variable called validated, and it's going to be equal to the request that comes from the front end. Okay, so the request is going to be validated, and all these validated inputs are going to be figured out. So we are going to validate the name, which must be filled, like that. And then we are going to do the same for the other 4 columns. So the name, the email must be an email, so required, and then it must be an email, and then the address must be filled, then finally the phone must be filled as well. Okay, then we're going to store the validated data inside a data variable. So detail creates, okay, callback, and then we are going to insert the validated data like that. Then you're going to close that. This has to be not created, like that. Then we are going to return the response in JSON format. Okay, so we're going to return the response as an array. So we're going to return as an array. So inside the response, the array is going to be a data, and the data has to be the data variable that we have just created here. Okay, and then a message that says user has been created successfully. User created successfully. Created. Successfully. Okay. And then you're going to give a status 201. That means success has been created successfully. So yeah, so you're going to go to the next method, which is the show method, and I'm going to create it. I'm going to pause the video and then create it, and then I'll explain to you. So next, after store method, is going to be the show method, which I've already written the code. So a data variable is going to be fetched, okay, from the database. So it is going to find with a specific ID or fail. Okay, if it fails, it will return an error, which is going to be displayed from the front end. Or if the user detail has been found with the ID, it is going to fetch the data. Okay, and it will also return the response user fetched successfully. Okay, and for a success fetch, you're going to get the information via the API routes. We are going to configure that later. So the next thing, we are going to the update method. Okay, I'm going to create it as well, and I will explain to you. Now, after the show method, we are going to go to the update method, where we are going to find the user details using the ID. Okay, then we are going to store it into a variable data. Then the user information, if has been found, is going to be updated. Okay, and then we are going to return the data plus the success message. Okay, that's it. And then finally, we are going into the destroy. Whenever we click the delete button, and this method is going to be called from the backend, and it's going to look for that specified user data. Okay, and then if it is there, it is going to call this the Laravel method delete, which has been internally built. Then it's going to be if the delete function is success, the success message will also be responded. Okay, so that is all for the detail controller. Those are all the methods that we need. So one last thing that we should do, we have to go inside the API, routes. Okay, and we are going to we should have a file named api.php. Okay, inside the API routes is where basically we are going to configure our routes. So we have to install the API routes. So we'll write this command. Sorry for that. Control and then backtick. So we're going to write this command: php artisan php artisan install API. That should create the API folder. So it should take some moments. Now you can see our API has finally installed. Okay, so we can write no. Sorry, no. Now we can clear the terminal. Okay, and then we are going to configure our route, and there is a simple the shortcut for configuring all the routes. So I'm going to write it. So it's going to be routes API resource. Sorry, API resource, like that. Then inside we're going to write the name, which will be accessing all the time, so it will be details. Then we are going to point it to the detail controller. So it's going to be detail controller, that one, class. Okay, so by just writing that command, we have configured all the methods that we have just created from the detail controller. So that is index, so we can fetch all the data. Okay, we can store. Okay, we can call the store method from just this command, from just this line. We can show the methods. We can call the show method, and then we can delete. We can as well do what? We can update. So in the next video, we are going back to the front end and try to call upon all these routes. Okay, that's where real magic will begin. So stay tuned. Thank you.